Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 148. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
It is the Twilight of SWU.
SWU.
Going to be talking about some Star Wars Unlimited. What's going on there in my world, both ups and downs. Going to talk some Magic. We have the Foundations. I've been drafting more of that on Arena. We have a new Commander video game in the works.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings Holiday Special Box is a $1,200 booster box. There's one for $1,000 from a low seller on TCG Player, but that's about it. We're predicting a Black Friday bump with this sale on TCG Player and a lot of limited stock items. So when those go, there's not more to replace them. So there's just a new price. I'm going to talk some Pokemon. There's been some reprints and the new sets look crazy. And yeah, and then we'll get into some economics and some fun stuff.
Stay till the end if you want to hear my hot takes on the economy.
I can't wait. I've been looking forward to it all week.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Should not be the highlight of your week.
No. It's not a highlight. It's a I don't need sleep. I need answers.
Fair enough.
Thing. I've been excited to talk to you about it.
Cool.
But yeah, what did we play? Did you play anything this week?
I did not. No,
Okay.
I've been busy and traveling. The most I've played in the last week was board games. I think we talked about that last week. It was that getaway. But no, I have not played anything this week. Not even on TTS. Very sad week for card games and stuff. Yeah.
I played some Foundations on Arena. It came out on Quick Draft, so I was able to get some more in. And in Quick Draft, you can draft monocolor, which is silly. I drafted a mono black deck. I'm currently 3-0. I haven't finished my run yet.
Wow.
But yeah, having fun. The set's super fun. I picked up 2 pre-release boxes. So when John and I get together, we can play some limited, either sealed or Winston. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's a good set. It's just fun, limited. Like we were talking before, I'm gonna get some play boxes because I want to be able to play this. Like I know that the play box it's gonna be around for years, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's my question. Are you willing to pay the play price of whatever it is, 120, 116, whatever that price is, for Foundations because it's gonna be around forever? Like, is that worth it, or do you wait until prices come down since it will be around forever? Or will it come down?
Will prices come down though?
That is the question mark. I mean, anything that has near infinite supply, the price comes down. But
well, I mean, with them pushing the new MSRP again.
That's what I mean. We don't know how they're printing this stuff. We know they're limiting print runs compared to the big hype times where they're building or printing ridiculous amounts. So big question marks around that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing tied to that: the collector box, which everyone was hyped, and you can't get it, and it's really hard to get. Yeah, it's 180 right now.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, that's what I mean. Some of the hype around the limitations of this, I think people need to be a little cautious. It is a standard set, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's standard, right?
Yeah. No, it is the cornerstone of standard.
Yeah.
I saw it's working. The marketing for Foundations is working. It is getting non-Magic big YouTube channels to do Magic.
Oh, I just clicked on it. I have to correct myself. That listing was one of those ripoff.
Oh, what is it actually?
Yeah, it's 290. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's still a hype, but yeah. Anyways, sorry, my bad. I clicked on it and it's a guy with 100%, 103 sales. But if you click on it, it's literally 2-player bundle, 2 Foundation collector booster, 12 jumpstart, and 8 play booster, 2 dust. What the hell is this? It's got Pokemon stuff in here.
Jeez.
What is? I can't believe they allow these kind of listings. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, or at least it shouldn't affect.
So it did hold up.
Page.
It did hold up.
Yeah.
My mistake. That's what I get for just looking at the the page of all the products instead of clicking.
Because I mean, there are strong cards in this set. Like, it's gonna be around, and they're cards that are gonna see play.
People do seem to love the art. The Magic channels that I'm in, everyone's hyped on this set or the other art, the anime style and the Pokemon style. People actually like too.
Yeah. I know. But it's working.
Yeah, whatever works for people.
Like, there's a big video game YouTube channel called Kind of Funny Games, and I used to watch them a ton back like 5-6 years ago. So they sometimes pop up on my YouTube feed. They were live playing the starter box thing.
The starter box.
There's a Foundations collection starter, I think it is.
Is this the like starter product? The teacher product or whatever? Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
And it comes with 2 pre-made decks and a guide that literally walks you through play-by-play, how to play. That's good. So they were basically just going line by line. They were doing the thing.
Well, that's kind of cool. And I guess he's not typically a Magic player.
No, they are video games. They don't do TCGs. Yeah.
So this is like a pull-in intro thing. That's cool.
So the pull-in's working.
Yeah.
And awesome. I mean, just thinking about it, like the selling point of people that aren't into TCGs knowing that these cards are going to be around for 5 years is not that they would know that about rotation and stuff anyways, but that's a good addition. It's like, here are these cards and you will be able to use them for a while.
Well, yeah. And I mean, there's some good cards. Like, obviously it's built to be playable. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I think it's helping set a foundation as it should for the next few years, but I still don't believe in getting hyped about it. No. Collector boxes, I guess I was wrong. They are doing something with the collector boxes where they're collectible.
Yeah. No, I'm not grabbing a bunch of boxes to throw on my shelf. I'm grabbing a couple of boxes to play and draft.
Well, yeah. And I think it's totally worth doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe down the road, I do think that, and we'll get into it later with tariffs and stuff, but is it just time for natural increase of prices across the board with boxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
At least in the medium term.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. And the 5 years. So like, what is a cheap draft box going for?
Yeah.
A cheap play box going for 5 years from now?
It's a good question.
I bet you it's not $90, $100.
I bet you're right. Cool.
So it's such a long time span that this box is going to be relevant.
Yeah. Oh, and talking about prices moving up quickly, Lord of the Rings Holiday Edition, that's a year old now.
Yeah.
And they weren't selling at, what was it, like, I can't remember what
it was, like $200-$300.
Yeah, it was like 200 something. Everyone's like, rip off,
reprint,
double master, no, not double master, it's double feature 2.0. You remember double feature was the Innistrad remake. That was like just a remix of it. Everyone's so mad about it.
Black and white. Yeah.
Couldn't sell for 200. Now it's going for 1,200. Yep.
People want what they can't get.
Yep. And that was a really short printed version, I guess.
And they can't reprint it. There's serial. And they don't reprint collectors.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I think they technically could, but they don't, They just wouldn't. Well, I don't know. With the serialized, you're right. That does make it.
They'd have to print new, like a new, like holiday edition 2025 Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. So let's talk about this for a second, because it's not like they haven't changed what's in a box under the same label before. They have. I believe it was. I'm probably saying incorrectly. It was either Ixalan or Zendikar had a special type of card in it, and then they did a second edition of it. Same label, same everything. You can't tell the difference by looking at it, except if you read the little tiny print. And they took that out in that. So it's not like they couldn't re-release the holiday special Lord of the Rings. Everything's the same. There's just no serialized cards. It still has that that fancy version of that particular card, but it's not a serial number card, right? Because there's plenty of boxes that were built that way. There wasn't a serial card in every box. You know what I mean? So they could re-release it if they wanted to. If they did, it would piss a lot of people off. So I don't think they will.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be respecting the print run of collector boxes.
Yes. Collectible is collectible again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to do.
For Magic, at least.
Yeah. It's funny, though. With a few rare exceptions, I am not seeing that reflected in singles. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm full of shit. But buying singles, fancy versions of singles, is still only a couple bucks, typically. Mm-hmm. I think it's because there's so many different ones. People's, like, what's hype and what people want in the fancy versions is spread out, you know? So it's not all the values focused on one card. It's focused across a bunch of cards.
And how much value is in the chance of a serialized?
I honestly, the serialized cards thing, actually, that's something I haven't looked at in a while. I'm going to look that up.
Because the Lord of the Rings, I think that's what's pushing the Lord of the Rings box out.
Is the serial cards?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, because I was buying serial cards for a while there, serialized cards. It's kind of hit or miss.
On Lord of the Rings?
No, I'm just flipping through all of them to see how that helps or doesn't. Some of them are like kind of crazy and out of stock. Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings ones are crazy.
Yep.
The Morgul knife, which I don't even know what that is. It's out of stock and it was $700 last time it was sold. Yeah, okay. I think it's hit or miss. Probably value of play, is the main factor.
Yeah.
And well, that's kind of cool. Some of the serialized cards I bought have gone up significantly. Wow. Go me. I just bought them for my decks. Because I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of working. Yeah. Because all of them are around 100. There's a few that fall below it, but those are probably the ones that no one plays anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then the really good ones are either out of stock or insane,
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is the serialized cards are working.
I think so.
A bit after a while.
Especially like if they do serialized for Spider-Man or Final Fantasy.
Oh my God, that's a good point.
Yeah, like it's the IP stuff. Those collectors come in, and what do the collectors look at? They look at the most expensive things. That's going to be the serialized cards because they don't care about Magic. They care about the IP. They want a collectible from their favorite IP.
That's fair.
So there's just demand. There's separate demand from the box outside of Magic.
Yeah, and if it's good functionality plus the IP, I think it's just bonkers. Because like that knife, I'm guessing it's a multiplier. Really playable, right? And like the other ones that are higher, the really playable, like the Shocklands, right? They're really high. Shieldred, right? Emrakul. Yeah. The power cards. Everyone knows these super power cards. Everyone knows them. That whole thing. Yeah, and then you throw IP. So you just make powerful IP cards and put a number on it, and boom, you made gold.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I really should have kept watching these. I mean, I don't mind. Like, I bought a bunch of them, and I was like, okay, I don't really care after this. Like, if they go up, they go up. If they don't, they don't. I wasn't committed to spending, like, thousands and thousands on it, because that's kind of where it was getting. It was like, I bought the cheap ones. I bought the middle ones I wanted. I bought ones that I wanted to play. And then I was like, yeah, I'm not going crazy and spending $1,000 on a card or $800 or whatever. I was like, I'm not doing that. So that's when I stopped. And it does look like most of them have gone up, and some of them are insane. $30,000 for one ring serialized.
Yeah.
Crazy poster one. Now, I don't think
you can pull that.
Buy it at that price.
No, but you have a chance of pulling that in a collector box.
Yeah, that's why.
And they're probably, most of them have been graded.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is a 9.5. It's a BGS 9.5. Yeah.
So people probably know how many are out there and how many are still in boxes. And if there's still enough of them unknown to the public.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's one on my shelf right now, John.
Oh, you better open it.
I know.
You get $30,000.
Exactly. That's how it works, right?
Yeah. So, am I sad that I sold my box a while ago? No.
No.
I got a multiple. I never give a crap. If I win, I win, and it can always go up more. Is it worth holding on to? Is it worth selling later? I don't know. The answer, I think, is no.
Yeah.
I don't care. But I am not sentimental about the things in the boxes. You know what I mean?
No, neither am I.
So
the only cards that I am sentimental about are my childhood Pokemon ones, and that's it.
Some of the cards I bought and serialized, I'm kind of sentimental about because they are specific cards that I like for me, for various reasons, various decks, whatever. Dina being a big one. I still need to get the Sky Noodle. That's my oldest deck. That's my oldest commander deck. I still love that deck. And I didn't get it because it was too expensive, and it's still too expensive. I don't want to spend $269 just to have a Sky Noodle. And the other thing is I really don't like this art that much.
Yeah.
Sadly. If they had done a cooler art.
Maybe they'll do another one eventually.
Nah, that's fine.
What if there's a Spider-Man version of Sky Noodle?
How would they do that? Like a reprint but different name?
Yeah, like under like Vulture or somebody.
Maybe if the art was really cool and the mechanic was the same, I could be
Mechanic
convinced.
the same.
Yeah, I could be convinced.
Renamed. How they do with like the Great Hedge and the Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I could get behind that. If the art was cool.
Yeah. That's the set that breaks me this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying before.
Yeah. I have a plan for it. But yeah, then the last thing with Magic, we have a Black Friday sale on TCG Player coming up where you get 10% back, 13 for subscribers. Magic collector boxes have been making a push like we've been talking about. But there aren't really more boxes to come to market besides secondary market. So boxes will come back on for sale for sure, but probably not at the prices they currently are.
Yes. That is a factor. So I guess get your collector boxes now.
If there's something you want.
Amazon dumps.
No. Yeah, that's another thing.
I keep watching. I keep looking at Amazon waiting for something to show up. And it was around Black Friday. They did it before, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and nothing so far.
Yeah, there was some play boxes, but nothing.
I mean, on the collector side, the play boxes, I expect that behavior to happen. That is kind of the whole point of the play boxes. They kind of have said that the whole time.
Yeah, because right now the only deal is Karlov Manor at 105.
Yeah, Karlov is the only thing I've seen on sale in a major way anywhere for a while.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like you don't see the Bloom Burrow, you don't see.
You can get that stuff from Rudy. Like
I know.
He's got all the recent sets.
You don't see it on public sales, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're not seeing it very much. Now I could be wrong. There could be this min-max market or one of the ones that
they have some interesting Black Friday deals.
Are they up yet?
Yeah.
Can you buy them this week? Because I noticed Amazon itself started Black Friday like yesterday.
Yeah, they've already started.
I was like, what? A whole week of Black Friday? It's like, okay.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones there. Like they're packaging the new Star Wars set with the reprint so you get one of the first set and then a bunch of the current set. So you can get a case of
starter kit.
Yeah, so you can get a case of the new set, so 6 boxes, and one box of the first set for $4.80. Which works out to $68 a box.
I was gonna say that sounds like it's good, but I'm not really sure.
That works out to $68 a box. So you're paying a little bit more than the market price for the third set. But the first set was a $220 box like a month ago. But now it's down to like $115, I think. Let's see.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just flipping through their bundles. Yeah, it's all in bundle style though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're looking to move stuff.
I don't really like bundles typically.
No. But I just thought it was interesting.
Lorcana, Star Wars, little Pokemon.
But none of it's just booster boxes.
Fab.
Yeah.
And then only 2 Magic sales? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Does that say something about the market? They're selling all these other products like a lot. Like there's like how many Star Wars deals and Lorcana deals are there?
Yep, a lot.
Like 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Even Pokemon's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 4. Only 4. No, 5. Fab only has 1. Magic only has 2.
But only 2 of them Pokemon have booster boxes.
Well, yeah, and with Pokemon in a bundle, like that is just a mixed bag because you get those weird kits that I hate. You know what I mean? There's so many weird products. So a bundle of Pokemon doesn't say much about Pokemon in general. No. Like it really doesn't. I'm kind of surprised there's not more Fab, that they really only have this like Blitz deck deal.
Well, they're one of the biggest Fab sellers. So they're probably breaking things down for singles.
Oh, fair. I forgot about that. I didn't know that.
They're at every event. Yeah. So if they have boxes, they're probably breaking for singles and selling at
You're
events.
like, we don't care. Yeah. That makes sense. I wonder how that market's doing now. The arbitrage between box and card is probably pretty good because I don't think people are buying mass amounts of box anymore. So you don't have a lot of competition on the singles, right? So your singles can be worth more.
Yeah, I think it's very spiky.
Yeah.
From what I can tell. So I was looking through it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just looking through Flesh and Blood in general. And it's spiky.
I was at the game day, the Fab players, they're still playing regularly.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, Majestics or Mythics? No, Majestics, right?
Yeah.
They're like, they're all worth like $20+ now because it's just the way they changed the box drops and stuff. It's like
from the new sets,
almost all of them. There's a few that suck, but generally speaking, they're worth money. Just if it's a Majestic, it's worth money. Period. Not true of legendaries.
Yeah.
Which is so freaking weird and whatever.
Players market.
Cool. Pokemon,
yeah. Surging Sparks is still a $200 box. I was expecting that to come back down to earth a little bit, but I think the train's left the station and it's just going to keep going.
It's the Pokemon times.
It's crazy. And then the next set is already like being sold out because it's all Eevee stuff.
Nope.
But I don't think there's not a booster box of it. It's a special set, so I can skip it.
I hate this.
But you don't want it. It's going to be crazy and stupid. Yeah, because you'll be buying the ETBs and
I'm not doing it.
And they're already even in pre-orders.
I hate the shelf space.
Yeah, it's bad. The only ETBs I have are Celebrations and Sword and Shield base set.
I have Celebrations and something else. I can't remember what. I think you convinced me to buy it. From here. Yeah, I don't know.
Crown Zenith, probably.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the one you got me to, or you convinced me to buy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I sold mine. I think I paid like $220 or something from. Like I got the 4 Pokemon Center boxes.
Yeah, and then, for the case or whatever.
Yeah, flipped it for $440, I think.
Nice.
So that worked out.
Yeah, Pokemon's doing well.
Yeah, the Prismatic Evolutions is what is called. The ETB, the one that's like, retails for $49.99.
Yeah.
The pre-orders for this that comes out in January is already at 102, John.
Yeah, is it gonna stay that high though?
This set's gonna be silly. It will dip down, yes.
It's hard to say with Pokemon, man. I just don't know because they definitely changed something, right? Is it the print runs? They're not doing more releases and waves. I don't know if that's true though, because didn't you say the first?
I think just demand is back. Demand is up again.
That's wild. Why?
Well, one, the pocket thing I think had something to do with it. 2, Bitcoin price probably has something to do with it.
That's fair. That's true.
And then this set is very reminiscent of why Evolving Skies is doing so well because of all the evolutions. So it has the same Pokemon that the previous set had that is going crazy.
Are you telling me this generation's Charmander is EV?
EV has taken on a life of its own.
I was going to say, anytime there's an EV product, it's the hot product. That used to be the thing with Charmander. I don't know if that's true anymore. Or Charizard, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Charizard's been a little overdone. But, yeah, EV's always loved.
Wait, what is Charizard versus Charmander? Is that an evolution?
Charmander is the first evolution, and then Charmeleon, and then Charizard.
Oh, Charizard's the big one?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Today I learned.
Yeah, right. And today I forgot. Because I will forget like 10 minutes from now. It's okay.
Well, like Evolving Skies is $1,000 booster box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. All the old stuff's gone up.
Yeah.
Settled, and then the new old stuff, I guess the early phases of this wave or whatever they call them, block.
Yeah.
Is now moving up to
Twilight Masquerade's $145 box.
Before we get into the economics discussion, I did want to kind of bring this up. I am pushing stuff out, selling stuff, and especially I try to do it around these sales because you get more volume and stuff,
more eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking to sell off stuff into this hype, right? Because we're at a hype point. I think it's going to continue to hype for a little while. I don't think it's going to continue to hype for too long. We'll talk about that in the economics part. But I mean, this just seems like a good time to move products that are in the profit, off the books. So you can buy more products.
Yeah, no, the last night I went down, I've been really good and not been looking at the TikTok sales and stuff, right? But I was like, it's Black Friday. Let me just look, see if there's anything stupid. Like the Star Wars box price is getting stupid. It's like you can get the new set for $60 a box. Oof. It's
Well, I guess for a sale, like that kind of makes sense. A lot of things are.
No, this is just regular eBay, John.
Oh,
if you buy
it's not 4, a Black Friday thing?
If you buy 4 or more, you can get it for $57.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars.
Yeah.
We barely knew ye.
Yeah. So yeah, brief pause here. I saw that and I was tempted, but then I thought about other smaller card games that, they went to that price and then they just stayed at that price.
Forever.
Yeah. So then I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've definitely looked for Black Friday sales myself for things.
But so while I was scrolling on TikTok, looking at the sales, there's not much, there's nothing really crazy in either Pokemon or Magic.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was actually looking at old stuff like Alpha Beta in slabs, because I still have some things I'd like to buy of those, and they're small, so shelf space is not a problem. What's that?
Sorcery?
No, for Magic Alpha Beta.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said Alpha Beta. Yeah, that doesn't make any difference between Sorcery and Magic.
Nope.
No, not Sorcery. I don't see that as something that's like a shelfable thing, long term. Like the slabs, at least. Like you want to play your cards. The Sorcery for me is cards I want to play. It's not like I have a total of 4 boxes on quote unquote speculation, and/or I will draft them someday.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't see that as this is a guaranteed moneymaker. This is a small game with a different model, which I like. I love the art. I like opening it. It's a lot of fun, and I want to draft some of it someday, which is why I got the case. As a Rudy sale or something, and they're just sitting on the shelf for that purpose. I don't see it as a big win. I didn't buy in for sake of doubling my money, sort of thing. They are holding up value pretty nicely, but it's a small game. Like how many times do you have to be burned on small games before you realize small games die? That's what they do. You can make some money in the short term. Small games die.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, I was looking for slabs of old Magic, because it's still not a market that's moving a lot.
Right. It's steady.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, well, I could start grabbing some of those, because there's some stuff I wouldn't mind having just for my own nostalgia's sake. And slabs are small but protected, easily transported. Like, it has a lot of upsides.
Easy to ship.
Yeah, for me, right? And so I keep going back to it. I have a stack of them that I got a while ago, and I might buy one or two more, just things that I want, like a lightning bolt, some of the classics.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really good deals. Like, while they're not going up, they're not really low. So it's like, I don't really want to spend like $600 on a single card. Like,
right.
I don't see that as worth my time and money when I could put $600 in crypto and watch it fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's where I've been going with all my card money that's been selling, and has served me quite well, thankfully. So, yeah, that was about a year ago, right? When I started talking about, I'm moving out into other opportunities. Yeah. It has gone very well.
Good.
Other SWU things.
Yeah, I taught a friend how to play Star Wars last night, or Friday night, which was fun. The game's still a ton of fun to play. And so the reason I was tempted even by the boxes was like, oh, maybe I'll grab a couple to draft because they were fun. But then I remembered I still have 4 boxes that I can draft on my shelf already. So that's what stopped me again. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. It's very easy to teach. Like, he's played Hearthstone for years, so he picked it up really quick because it is very similar to Hearthstone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he enjoyed it and would want to play again. So
cool.
We'll probably play again next time he comes over. But I am probably going to be decreasing my collection down to 2 playable decks. Basically build one, so like when friends come over, we can have 2 competitive decks that play.
Totally makes sense.
And then everything else besides that, local stores offering high store credit for them, and I just see the prices continue to go down on singles. And with the amount of boxes hitting the market, I can only imagine that more singles will come to market. Yep. So probably going to be selling out a lot of my showcases and stuff like that.
Oof. Does that hurt? Does that feel sad?
No. I am keeping Leia because that one's special to me.
Yep.
But the other ones, no. I haven't even played them. Like, one, no,
you
that's
were
not
so
true.
Hyped before.
Grand Inquisitor, I did play. Yeah.
What? I'm so confused.
I was, and I do enjoy them. I just
too much.
Yeah, I'd rather it be in something else.
You're like, if I looked at this and I think it's beautiful and it's great and I love it, but then if I look at it and realize it's worth $0.00, it's not so beautiful anymore.
Exactly. Yes. Very much so. But Leia, if it was $0, I wouldn't care.
You still love it. That's why. Yeah, that's the line. That's where you draw the line.
I think
that's why with my sorcery stuff, I'm like, I know this ain't worth shit. I love it though.
yeah, exactly. But I think it's just one of those things where there's too much in the market for collectors to offset or keep it afloat, or the price is high, and the art is just not evolving. Like, I gave it, like, the first set had a lot of really good looking showcases,
and then the second set, week.
Yeah. And there's a couple that are doing well, but I mean, it's like Yoda and Anakin, like 2 key main people in the Star Wars universe, and the ones that are holding up from the first set are Leia and Boba.
Gotcha.
So if they're really key characters, they hold up, but
they're not changing the art up to make people happy with the art.
Nope.
That's a shame. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But still loving playing the game. Just Oh, and that's the other thing is the Carablast, the Talishar version of Star Wars, still doesn't have the third set. The developers haven't gotten around to implementing it yet.
Oh, that's not great.
So, yeah, and this is as their now. To be fair, they haven't had their first like Worlds thing yet. They're doing the planetary qualifiers are just starting to be put on calendars. So there could be a slight uptick shortly for playable cards. But besides that, long term, I just think there are too many boxes on the market of every set now.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said they wanted to do.
Yeah.
They always said they were going to print like basically to demand or whatever they could.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're getting it out there.
Yep. Yeah. Sad day. Small games die. That is the lesson from 2020 on.
Surprise. Nothing
4 years later, we learned that small games die. Hey, we said it back then, or at least I said it back then. I was like, this is like the 90s. There was a billion games in the 90s, and only 2 survived.
Now we're at the other part of that.
Yep. We talked about that way back. Didn't care. Had fun.
No,
had fun along the way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Regret nothing.
Nothing. Hey, I have Weaverant, one of those 90s card games, on my shelf. I now have added Genesis. I've added Cryptic. I've added, I guess Sorcery will eventually be there. It's not quite dead yet. It's actually holding up fairly well, but I'm
not dead yet.
Now Fab, not dead yet also, but I suspect it will be there eventually. Post 90s boom phase, I think we'll be back to the 2 or 3 big ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it. I think those are the only, MetaZoo. Although I don't think I actually held on to any MetaZoo boxes. I think I sold all of them.
Lucky.
I'm a little sad, actually. I kind of wish I had one.
You want to buy some?
No. Star Wars. I have Star Wars on the shelf too, which isn't dead yet either. But yeah, so
I heard rumors that the MetaZoo IP was bought recently.
It was.
Yeah.
It was bought by actually the guy who created Magic, I think, Garfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he and a couple other people bought it in a consolidation thing. What happens with it from there? I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
And by buying the IP, they can make like video games and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's no guarantee the cards are worth anything.
No. They're just sitting on the shelf. They're about to be moved to the basement, probably.
That's about it. Yeah. Now, if you want to just throw one away, I'd take a box. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll just give you a box.
Yeah, just to have a box of a dead card game, because I liked my 90s era card games. Netrunner, I have that on my shelf too.
I can't even draft these boxes though.
Well, it's just for the memories, man.
Oh no, I know.
I would never open any.
No, that's why I'm sad, and I think I'm glad I've changed my perspective to anything I buy, I can do something with.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that way, at minimum, it's fun for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So one thing worth noting, so Flesh and Blood, Star Wars, we're seeing these down ticks.
Sorcery not being able to uphold to regular map.
Yeah, the Arthurian Legends is, well, first off, map.
Yeah.
Second
we
off,
have map now.
Yeah, not holding up to even any of it, right? I guess you want to talk about that first, and then we can go into the economic stuff. Yeah, so Sorcery put a map policy in place. Absolutely the silliest thing I've ever heard of. I didn't know about it until you just told me right as we were starting, but just with 2 seconds of thought, I'm like, that is dumb.
Yeah.
You know why it's dumb? They can't enforce it. There's no store play. I mean, there is, but it's not like official, like Fab. It's not like anything else where it's like you have to have tracking through the system and all. Like any store play is relatively casual. It's a casual game. You have no enforcement strength. Fab's enforcement strength is they say they'll take away your ability to buy from distro. Does Sorcery even have distro?
Yeah.
Does it? I don't know if it does. It's like, what is your threat behind this map thing? And clearly no one is taking it seriously because the prices are below map.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is how that is. I would call this the canary in the coal mine for Sorcery.
Yeah.
Trying to force a price when the market doesn't support it says you fucked up, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then we have, what was it, $40 Monarch boxes?
Yeah, and Fab, another story of map not really working. They're better at enforcing it. I will give them that, and they actually have a reason and way of enforcing it. I just don't know that it's effective, because like threatening to take the game away from a store that is struggling to sell the product just means they say, okay, well, I won't buy anymore then, right? Like you're losing your market share. Yeah, you're creating a negative pressure on your market share. So to the overarching topic of this sad part of the discussion, last time we saw Fab take big dips and kind of have a hard time coming back at all, it was the prelude to the downturn.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Fab was first last time, and then we had 2 years of a downturn. So does Fab count as a canary in a coal mine again?
I think it's different this time. I think the playables will still continue to hold up and be fine, because the player market of Fab is still fine and good. It's the collectible side, and sealed product would be considered in that collectible side, because people aren't buying boxes to just get singles; they just buy singles.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you can see that because you have such cheap boxes.
But
people aren't singles. But expensive singles.
Yeah, I wonder what the EV looks like on these days. I have not looked in a long time, so I'm curious how inverted it is.
Yeah, like you have Monarch at $45, Tails at $50,
map totally
unlimited
ignored.
46. Yeah, map being ignored. Like there are single cards. There's a lot of cards in these sets that are worth more than that box.
Yeah. I think you're seeing money move between things as usual. Back to the big boys. The big boys are doing things right in a collectible way. So you're starting to see that money. People are finally buying into that, right? No one believed Magic with the collector boxes. Now we're 4 or 5 sets in.
You have demand. You have demand higher than supply for both Magic and Pokemon.
That's a money
you can
drain
see that
for the whole space.
And Magic, it even brings it down to the play boxes. Like there's demand for the play boxes that you're not seeing them go on sale. Besides
Karlov. Is that true? Yeah,
Besides
I was going to say, is that fully true though?
Besides Karlov.
I feel like some of the other play boxes dropped at post-release.
Yes. They'll not be at 140, but they're not at 90. They're not at 80.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is Bloomberg at? Bloomberg. Not Bloomberg. It's financial. No, it's at 120 still. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. They kind of are holding in place. They're not up, but they're not down either.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Interesting. I didn't realize that, actually.
Because those, I'm sure Distro has plenty of them, but they're selling
and will
through.
For the next couple of years, probably.
Right.
Like they usually do 2 years on standard sets. So I'm assuming that's still true. I see no reason to expect these to dry up, which is why I'm a little surprised that the prices have held up. I assume they would go down.
I think that's a sign of demand.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Like the boxes are moving.
Let's see. Duskmorn. How's that? Yeah, still holding too. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would not have expected that. Wow. Cool. So they seem to have balanced their stuff out. Pokemon obviously has misbalanced, and everyone needs it.
And correction, yeah.
Yeah, which is fine.
But you see, all the PokeTubers are back, and there's more than ever. There's new ones. There's when you start to see that stuff, and you start to see like the Costco displays being taken down like crazy.
No, that scares me. That's the hype of 2020. I don't like that.
I'm seeing it on Reddit and online, John.
I don't like it. This is my concern. So on to the economic part. My concern is we are seeing patterns that look very familiar to, I guess, 2021, 2020 timeframe of hype building up. Now, granted, there are differences, but in those times we saw
the difference is the indies aren't bouncing up.
No, remember though, the indies started to die earliest, right? MetaZoo went, Fab went down. Cryptic died. What else died around that time? I think Cryptic actually took a little longer. Genesis, they all imploded, and then the bear market really hit for the big boys too.
Yeah.
Right. So this is where I'm like, ooh, I don't like this. We're starting to see shaky, small players. And by the time they are really decimated, then the big players slowly turn over and have the same issues. And, overall demand, overall cash spent on cards, right? Just what I was saying.
Yeah.
Why buy cards when I can buy crypto? Why buy, you know what I mean? Like, there's other ways to make money. Cards do not keep up with inflation generally.
Yeah, and I can buy the S&P.
Right. So you have this where should I park my money situation where 2020 was relatively unique because of all the cash flowing around in the system and all those, everyone's sitting at home, not spending on going out, vacations, etc. All that is a pull away from cards overall.
Yeah.
The supplies have been adjusted to account for that, which the big boys are doing well with that balance, right? The little guys are losing their market share because people are looking for things more stable or they're just bored of these new games and want to go back to the classics. I'm not sure the exact driver.
I'm sure there's
probably both. Yeah. And then you start to see what we have coming up, which if tariffs are going to happen, which is a big promise, now we'll see. I don't buy in 100% that they're going to happen in a major way, but if they do happen in a major way,
but it's uncertain.
Yeah, it's uncertainty, and uncertainty scares money, right? So why park money in something that may end up being jammed up, Now, two-sided coin there. Tariffs happen, prevent new product from coming in, prices spike, inflation, right? That is a possibility. Then buying in right now might be your best bet for the future. But the other side of that, as we've seen,
keyword uncertainty.
Yeah. As we've seen, when prices go up, what happened? When Pokemon increased their prices, when Magic increased their prices, that was the death knell. That's when they all started to drop. So if tariffs do cause prices to go up, and even though they will resettle at that point, you might be waiting a couple of years.
It'll be harder to sell.
Yeah, you will not be selling it. It is like buying now on the speculation that the prices are going to go up because of tariffs means you better be ready for 5 years. If you're not ready for 5 years, don't do it. And it may be less time. It'll actually probably be more like 2 or 3 before the turnaround happens, but you don't know. And therefore you better be ready for 5 years.
Yeah.
Other side of it, tariffs don't happen. Prices stay stable. Are you going to see an increase in these older products going forward? Probably at a similar pace. And then your question is it worth it to wait for a 7% gain over 5 years, 7% per year over 5 years? Again, waiting 5 years. Or do you put it in something else that's moving faster and can gain you in a faster time frame?
Yeah.
That is balanced portfolio theory.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the card world. Less uncertainty in typical economic places, right?
Yeah.
I will say when you look at stock markets and that sort of thing, a lot of the money is being flowed into speculative things and cryptos, more, I guess, regulatorily impacted things, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting time. There's going to be splits in the market where it's not going to be like, I guess, the last 5 or 6 years where it's basically been market goes up, as a whole.
Right.
I think you're going to see a divergence. Some things win, some things lose. I think it's going to be key as to where tariffs happen, if they happen, right? If they happen in one industry, that's going to impact things down chain. So you got to keep an eye on those sorts of things. It's going to be much more tricky to navigate, I think, going forward. There's the last 5 years or so is basically like, put it in the S&P, you will make money.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be a little bit trickier, but we'll see. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like crypto.
Yeah.
We'll say it's been doing well.
Yes. It hasn't hit the big number yet, though, has it?
No, not yet. 99.
Yeah, it was like 99 and a half.
So I do love it being at this big round number because now I can look at things in Satoshis, which is the decimal points, and I know what the number means because it's at 100,000. So for each zero, it's just one off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's a 0.1, what is 0.1 of 100,000? 10 10,000, right? So you can just go and you can mentally see, like, if there's 2 zeros, you're now in the hundreds, and you're just like, that's 125 or 1,200 or what, just based on how far off the decimal it is. I wish it would just stay at 100,000. That'd be perfect. It would make my life easier for valuing things in Satoshis.
What was it? That Bitcoin mining app game that I was playing. It pays you out in Satoshis.
Oh yeah.
And so with this price increase, I've now made like close to $50 playing this stupid mobile game.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of fun.
Is it real though? Can you actually move the money?
I moved it to my Coinbase, yeah.
So you can, okay. Because a lot of those, like, I think Brave was one that was like, we'll give you Brave tokens and they're a cryptocurrency. It's basically a way to make things ad free, and you do ad blocking and stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. I love the idea. It's one of those like, hey, this is actually a good use of this, right? Pay for your attention sort of thing. Moving it off of it was like really not doable. It was possible in the beginning, but nowadays you have to do like all these hoops to get it to move away from there, which means you basically can't get paid. So it's like, oh, it's basically a lie. And I still use Brave. I like the browser in general, but that part's basically dead as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong and there's a way to do it, but
you paste a contract into it and
that's awesome.
Right over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, those
copy the contract from Coinbase, paste it, and then it was there instantly.
It's cool.
Because you can do it over Lightning, so it's just a couple seconds.
That's cool. It's using Lightning Network?
Yeah.
That's great. That's been one of those, like, is anyone going to use it questions for a while.
I used it this week.
I will say the regulation framework around cryptocurrencies is looking pretty good. This is the most crypto-friendly Congress coming in.
Yeah.
Obviously, Trump has been very convinced to be very pro-crypto from one reason or another. And so I will say that whole world looks pretty promising. And, in a lot of ways, thank goodness, because the entire promise of crypto was decentralizing, banking in general. And I think there's a lot of good reasons to see that happen, or things like that happen. So the derivative effects of this technology could be beneficial to everyone long term. So I'm looking forward to see how the tech evolves, but I've also been involved in crypto since the beginning. So it's just nice to see it pay off after 12 years.
Yeah. So, with all that said,
14 years, Jesus Christ. I just realized I'm old.
Okay, Grandpa.
Yeah, it was 2010 is when it like 29 is when it was released. 2010 is when it got focus. And yeah, crazy. Anyways, sorry.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so with all that said, what is your plan? What are your moves? Besides, is it just continue to keep selling stuff that's in the green?
Yeah, I'm selling stuff in the profit because I feel like we're in a hype cycle, especially things I see as shakier, right? Small game stuff, obviously. Yeah. I'm down to, like I said, I think only a few boxes of anything that's a small game, like 2 to 4 sort of thing. Or less. Like I said, with MetaZoo, I got rid of all of it.
I have a box with your name on it.
Yeah,
it'll be your Christmas present.
There you go. And then on the
maybe I should just give everyone MetaZoo boxes for Christmas.
Oh my god, that is hilarious, funny, and I'm not sure if that's a mean thing to do or not. I mean, it's certainly not going to be loved by everyone.
Spread the wealth. Yeah. Put it on everyone's shelf.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any plans. Just kind of seeing where the market goes, looking for the deals. I don't think we're seeing any deals anytime soon because we are in a hype phase. It
was
slow on buys.
It was mind blowing scrolling through TikTok and just seeing nothing.
Yeah,
like it's a completely different world than it was over the summer in the spring.
And it will shift again, but hype builds and it peaks and it blows. You have a blow off top and then it comes crumbling back down. So a lot of variation on what could cause the changes, though. We won't really see until post January period.
Yeah.
It may even be a year. A lot of people on the economics world, all the people that talk about this stuff and look into it on a regular basis are saying, yeah, forget 2025. We won't see impacts of anything tariff related or otherwise till 2026. Because you think about it, if it's administration, economic policy, you got to pass it through Congress. Like it's a process, and and anything that's passed, doesn't matter what it is. It could be a hardcore law day one enforced. It still takes about a year, 6 months to a year, for any policy to actually have a material impact in the financial world because of the time it takes for it to trickle through the system. So I will say I've already heard stories of people buying inventory, a year's worth of inventory, basically ahead of it because they are worried about it. There's specific industries where it's like high probability impact. I think microchips is one.
Cards can't do that though.
No, they can't. Exactly. This is where it's a particularly special risk and a different use case in the market. But yeah, if you have a phone you've needed to upgrade or a computer or whatever.
That I am doing. A
lot of people are saying buy now before the prices go up. I'm like on the fence. I usually wait 3 years between phones. It's been 2. But there's a Black Friday sale and it's like, do I do it? Do I just do it?
I'm at 5 years, so.
Oh yeah, then that's worth it. In my opinion. Yeah. I was looking at the PC, I buy from CyberPower.
That's the other thing. My computer's at 7 years.
My computer is since 2020. I bought it for VR when COVID hit, and it's not bad. But if prices are gonna double, I don't want to pay $5,000 for a new PC. You know what I mean?
Both my wife's and I computers we're looking at the same. We're in the same boat.
Yeah, and GPUs are already up. Like they've been up for a while. So I was waiting for them to come down, but I don't know that they come down. So it's like, shit, do I do it or not?
And that's what that's what I'm thinking with at least the staples of Pokemon booster boxes and Magic collectors. I don't see them coming down.
Yeah, I mean, and that's quite possible they don't come down. Yeah. The question is, do they continue to go up? What happens next?
Right.
And again, are they going to be affected by any tariff? Like, what is the tariff on cardboard?
Yeah.
Like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
It's not a very realistic proposition. The only thing you can see related to it is if there's issues with shipping because of the disruption. As you remember from COVID, we had like this disruption led to that disruption sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, how much are these indie games, how much are these boxes going to cost to import?
Well, and see, that's the thing. If it's a 60%, this is one thing that was promised. And again, words are words until they're policy. 60% tariff on anything from China was a statement, which I think is ridiculous. First off, we will all be paying that price.
Sorcery is printed in China.
That's my point. There's certain card games that are printed in China, and it's not the big boys.
No, it's not.
The big boys are in Belgium. They're in Japan. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you start to look at that.
And the U.S. The Pokemon is printed in the U.S.
Yeah. So that's where it's like, we don't know until we know. Speculation is...
Magic has access to printers in the U.S. too.
Yeah, they're printed in 3 or 4 different places, so they're solid. They should be fine. But it's one of those, like, the uncertainty drives a uncertain investment if you're thinking about it in investment terms. So, meaning, if you're doing it, it better be money you're willing to burn, like light on fire, because you may be, Yeah. So, yep, we will see. We'll see how it plays out, and it'll be a lot of interesting economic things. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, expect your shit to get more expensive if there are any tariffs at all. Although I've seen a lot more pushback on that recently, so maybe there aren't any. We'll see.
Yeah, or it's like 5 or 10% or something.
Well, yeah, and I think people are starting to realize that we paid for tariffs.
Yeah,
I think for the longest time people did not think that's how it worked, and anyone out there who doesn't think that's how it happens, that is exactly how it happens. It goes to the prices. I'm pretty sure most of our listeners, just from listening to me babble about economics, have a sense of how that stuff works. But
hope so.
Could be wrong. But yeah,
today you learned if you didn't know.
I was gonna say it ends up in your price tag. That's where it ends up ultimately. Walmart literally just came out and said it.
Yeah.
Openly, they're like, tariffs will be added to prices.
Yeah, inflation.
Our products. Yeah, it's what it is. They're inflationary. So get ready for inflation 2.0 if there is a 60% tariff on China. Again, I think that's extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's realistic. If that does happen, though, you're going to see a doubling in prices at Walmart because for sure, just like during COVID, those companies are going to use that cover to go further. They're going to get higher prices than what they need to get. And then they're going to keep them there once the tariffs go away, if the tariffs ever go away, right?
Yep.
Because it's price memory fixation, that sort of thing. It's how these companies work. It's how they make, their shareholder profit and all that stuff. So just
same with cards. Like Magic and Pokemon increased the MSRP, and yes, they've been rejected. But for how long?
What's a play box?
Yeah.
What's a play box? It's not 85. So yeah.
Yeah. Those deals I'm not even seeing on.
No.
Nothing.
No, yeah, those days are gone. Now, I will give Magic a little bit of credit, as much as it is annoying that they did all that, and definitely some price gouging with their record profits, obviously.
Gotta keep Hasbro alive.
To be fair to Magic, they had not raised prices in over a decade, and there's another product on the planet that didn't raise prices over a decade. It's actually kind of interesting if you do the math on it. I think it's less than 2% a year increase, which was under inflation. They're still under inflation over that time frame, or something close to it. So
that's why I'm saying, like, that's more reason why I think these new prices will stick.
Oh yeah, they are forever. Yeah, it's a changed economic environment.
Yeah, the box is the same. We just look at it different.
Yeah, it's a little different, but mostly the same.
What do you mean? Nothing changed about the box.
Yeah, play boxes are set and.
Well, sure. Draft. No, what I mean is, like, the draft box that I bought in 2020 is still the same draft box.
Oh, but the price has gone up. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. True.
Well, on that cheery note, anything else you got?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Well, until next week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.